Help me reach 5,000 subscribers. Support the video with a like and leave your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. Thank you. She started with a sigh you only hear in waiting rooms. I set a sack of groceries on the counter, and she looked at it like I'd brought home a stray. Why'd you get that lettuce? Sierra tapped the bag with a fingernail. It wilts. And you always pick the soft tomatoes. You don't know produce. I know what we're paying. I put my keys on the dish by the sink. And what's on sale? It's not about sales. She opened the fridge, scanning. It's about standards. My aura isn't compatible with bargain greens. Your aura can eat what we have, I replied, keeping my voice even. Dinner's chicken, rice, and salad. If the lettuce looks at you funny, avert your eyes. She shut the fridge a little too firmly. I just wish you'd listen. I have a feel for this stuff. You handle lumber and numbers. I handle living. Living, I repeated. Okay. She smiled like a coach who'd won a small argument. Exactly. I tuned the energy. That's why your business took off. You weren't thriving before me. I didn't argue. I loaded the pantry. She asked where I'd put the basmati like I'd buried gold in the drywall. The whole time she hovered, correcting angles, calling out crumbs I didn't see. When I set the cutting board down, she took it, flipped it to the right side, and slid it back without a word. Back then I thought it was just mood. If I'd known where that tone was headed, I'd have stopped being polite about it a week sooner. The next morning the kitchen felt like a showroom I couldn't afford. Sierra inspected mugs. The blue ones don't match the vibe. Can we move them to the garage? Also, she swirled her coffee. You forgot to send the transfer for the utilities. I reminded you. Twice. I scheduled it, I told her, stirring eggs. You scheduled it wrong. It hit the wrong day last month. Late fee. See, when you shut me out, the house loses. I didn't shut you out. I paid our bills. She shrugged. If I don't manage it, it falls apart. You're excellent with tasks, just not with the whole. Good to know. I plated breakfast. What's the whole? The feeling, she said. The standard. Look at the entryway. It's bare. No statement piece. When people walk in, they should know a woman of taste runs this home. I ate in silence. She watched me like she expected a thank you for the critique. Your mom texted, she added, casual like a needle. She invited us Sunday. I told her we're busy. I'm planning a little dinner here. Adults only. I need you to handle wine and dessert. You canceled on my mother without asking me? We've been to her place 3 Sundays in a row, she said. It's like you still live there. I don't, I replied. I live here, which is why I'll go Sunday. You will. She tilted her head. By yourself. If that's the option. So you're choosing them over us. I'm choosing not to have you manage both houses. She laughed under her breath. You're touchy today. No. I tapped my fork on the plate once. I'm drawing a line. You want to plan dinners here, great. But you don't cancel me elsewhere. And I'll handle my own money. New rule. Her eyebrows jumped. What rule? Today I'm separating the discretionary spending. Mortgage and utilities stay joint. Groceries joint with a number. Everything else, your spa days, my tools, whatever, separate. I'll send you the breakdown at noon. Oh wow. She leaned on the island. You think I'm going to ask you for pocket change like a teenager? No. You'll spend your money. I'll spend mine. It removes the debates. She smiled with patience she uses on waiters. Evan, your income covers 90% of this. Don't be dramatic. It covers the house I bought before you, I replied. Which you live in. Gladly. We can keep it that way, respectfully. Boundaries help. She set her mug down. You're acting like I'm taking something. I built the environment you succeed in. Without me, you were just a guy with a truck and a mother who still packs him leftovers. You could be right, I said. Let's test it. Noon email. New budget. Clear numbers. No surprises. She stared at me for 3 long beats. Then flicked an imaginary speck off the counter. You'll regret making this adversarial. I'm not adversarial. I took my plate to the sink. I'm organized. She grabbed her purse. Fine. But when dinner lands flat tonight because you underfund the right cheese, remember you asked for this. Ton of cheese in the world, I said, rinsing the pan. I'll survive. She paused at the door. Try to show some gratitude. I'm the reason people take you seriously now. Then you won't mind if I stand on my own and see who still does. She left without closing the door fully, on purpose. The draft tugged at the corner of a taped list she'd put on the fridge, house aesthetic goals. I pulled it down and slid it into a drawer. At noon, I sent the email. Mortgage and utilities. Auto pay from joint. Groceries. Weekly cap. Either of us can shop. Cleaning service. Paused. We both have hands. Everything else, his and hers. I added one more line. No visits to my job without a heads up. She didn't respond. At 2, a text. We'll discuss after my facial. Don't be rigid. It kills romance. I turned off notifications and went back to work. When she wanted meetings, she got them. When I wanted results, I made them. That afternoon, I booked Sunday with my mom and sister and told Sierra she was welcome to join. She sent a thumbs up with the passive energy of a traffic cone. I shrugged, grabbed my jacket, and drove to the shop. The shop is a long rectangle, concrete floor, racks, tool chests, the smell of sawdust that sticks to your jeans. Lucas, who's 26 and thinks in fast lines, was measuring maple boards. Carmen, our office manager, waved a folder. I signed invoices. It was a normal day until Sierra walked in like she owned the air. She wore sunglasses inside and made a show of pushing them up slowly. "Hi, team," she said, like she had a team here. "I need 10 minutes with Evan to talk about Saturday's purchases." He misplaced receipts again. Lucas glanced at me. Carmen did not blink. "We're in the middle of loading," I told Sierra, holding my pencil still. "It's urgent." She pointed at the back. "We'll go there. Come." Carmen's eyebrows formed a tent. Lucas mouthed, "You good?" I followed Sierra toward the lumber rack. She scanned the boards like a critic appraising a gallery. "You bought red oak instead of white," she said. "It's heavier. Clients notice. That's what makes you look amateur if I'm not curating. I bought what the project required." I didn't lower my voice. "And you don't use that word here." "What word?" She looked genuinely confused. "Curating," Lucas called from the front. "We're a shop, not a museum." Sierra ignored him. "I came to help you not embarrass yourself." "You came to manage me in front of my people," I answered. "Not happening." "I'm your wife," she said. "I protect your brand." "Here's my boundary," I said. "No drop-ins at my work. You want to talk money? Send me an email. I'll answer after 4. If you show up again uninvited, we're done talking that day. That's the rule." Her smile stiffened. "You don't set rules for me." "I set rules for my job," I said. "You don't get to perform authority here." "You're being cold." She tried softly, switching gears. "I came to support." "What you call support looks like control to me." I pointed to the door. "We'll talk at home." She looked at Lucas, then at Carmen, maybe hoping for backup. Carmen opened a drawer, the signal she's not joining any soap opera. Sierra exhaled, adjusted her sunglass frames that didn't need adjusting, and left. When the door shut, Lucas whistled under his breath. "She said cure it," he murmured. "Like we're arranging pastries." "Back to work," I told him. Carmen waited until we were alone at the counter. "You want me to put a sign on the door?" she asked. "Appointments only?" "No sign." I looked at the schedule. "Just change the lock code after 5. Send it to crew only." "That your house code too?" she asked, without judgment. "Not anymore." Carmen nodded. "Copy." I finished the day early and drove home. On the porch, a white bag from my favorite spot sat with a note. "I'm sorry I barged in. Let's reset. Dinner at 7. I made your playlist." I brought the food in and set the table. Sierra came out of the bedroom in a dress she usually saved for evenings when she wanted a parade. She put her hands on my shoulders and kissed my cheek like a publicist loving a camera. "I messed up earlier," she said. "I get excited. I see where you could be, and I try to push you there. It comes out wrong. I'm working on it." "I appreciate that," I told her. "I'll still keep the rules." "Rules, fine." She smiled, forcing lightness. "But we're a team. Don't wall me off." "We're a team," I agreed. "When the play makes sense." We ate. She talked about color palettes and how our house needed a statement piece by the entry. I told her she could pick one, under a number we agreed on. She winced at the number like it tasted cheap, then smoothed her face. "I booked brunch with my cousin on Saturday," she said. "We'll review the budget together." She's good with money. "You booked me for a Saturday review with your cousin?" I set down my fork. "I'm not attending that." "She's basically family," Sierra insisted. "She understands influence. She can show you leverage." "I'm sure she can," I replied. "I'm not interested. Send me her ideas by email." Sierra's jaw flexed once. She recovered fast. "Fine. Email. I'll make it pretty. You like it neat." After dinner, she curled up next to me on the couch, rested her head on my shoulder, and talked softly about energy again. It almost sounded sweet. It almost sounded like care. I let her sit there, and in my head I moved a few more puzzle pieces. Locksmith at 9 tomorrow. Codes for the shop changed tonight. Sunday with my family regardless of her decor schedule. Then I let the TV fill the room so there were no speeches to applaud. At 10 her phone lit up with a text from her cousin. Can we schedule him for Saturday 3 to 5? I'll bring worksheets. Sierra tilted it away like it burned. I told you. I said, eyes still on the screen. Email. Relax, she answered. I'm not your assistant. Good, I said. Assist yourself. Sunday at my sister Lauren's started with the smell of roast and the sound of my nephew chasing the dog in circles. My mom stood by the stove and pretended not to check my face for clues. Sierra walked in half an hour late and air-kissed everyone like we were rotating planets. She handed Lauren a boutique candle in a bag with too much tissue and looked around our family's small living room like she'd entered a set with bad lighting. Cute, she said. Very cozy. Lauren raised an eyebrow. Thanks. We sat. Sierra made sure to take the chair with the best angle to the room. She crossed her legs like she was in a panel discussion. How's the shop? Mom asked, passing rolls. Busy, I told her. We're booked through June. Because he's finally letting me help, Sierra added, reaching for the butter like she owned butter. I introduced systems. He used to wing it. Mom glanced at me. He's always had systems. Sierra laughed a little. Not like mine. He's a doer. I'm a designer. Together we're elevated. Lauren met my eyes, a question there. I lifted a shoulder, not answering. Conversation moved to my nephew's school and my mom's garden. Sierra recentered it when she could. She mentioned she was curating the house, raising the standard, stabilizing my brand. Lauren poured water and didn't react. Mom carved meat like it owed her a favor. Then Sierra went for the line she'd been saving. If it weren't for me, she told the table, casual like a weather report, he'd still live at his mom's. Lauren froze. My nephew's fork clinked. My mom set down the carving knife very carefully. Like you, from this moment. I answered, looking at Sierra and no one else. The room held still. What? She asked, a laugh stuck in her throat. You just announced your value, I said. I'm announcing mine. You want to be the head of a house. Great. Do that at your house. You'll spend the next month at your mother's. We'll use that time to separate what's yours and what's mine. No more joint discretionary spending. No more showings at my job. No more public lectures. You're kidding, she said, eyes darting to my sister, my mom, like they'd save her. I don't kid about respect, I said. Lauren looked at me, then at Sierra. We can pack you a plate, she told Sierra. For later. Sierra turned to my mom. Are you going to let him speak to me like that? In your house. Mom answered with the same tone she used when we were kids and tested boundaries. He's a grown man. He speaks for himself. Sierra made a sound between a scoff and a gasp. Evan, this is extreme. What's extreme is you turning every room into a stage, I replied. You want to control. I'm giving it back to you. Just not in my house. You can't decide that. I can, I said. I already arranged a ride. Her eyes narrowed. You're bluffing. My phone buzzed. I glanced at it. Nate's outside. Was it cruel to involve my friend? Not in my book. Nate's a straight shooter who'll give you a lift when your car's in the shop and a look when your pride is. He'd texted earlier. You sure? I'd texted back. Yep. Sierra stared at me for a long time, recalculating. You're going to regret humiliating me, she said quietly. You did that line yourself, I answered. I stood. Lauren, Mom, thanks for dinner. Sierra, your bag is in the car. I packed essentials. You can pick up more later with a list and a time. We'll go through the rest like adults. Sierra rose slowly, still hoping the room would tilt in her favor. It didn't. Lauren's mouth was tight. Mom folded a napkin with too much attention. My nephew whispered to the dog. The dog, wise as all good dogs, stared at a corner. Sierra walked out first. I followed. Nate leaned on his old sedan, window down. He looked at Sierra the same way he looks at a 2x4 that's slightly warped. Workable, but you're not building load-bearing walls with it. You're actually doing this, Sierra said by the curb. Yep, I answered. Where am I supposed to go? Your mom's, I said. Like you suggested. From this moment. She opened her mouth, closed it, got in the car, and slammed the door. Nate gave me one quick nod. They drove off. I stood there, the cold air cutting, my hands still, and counted to 10 because I promised myself no speeches after actions. When I went back inside, Lauren hugged me. That was overdue, she said in my ear. Mom handed me a container. Take meat, she said. You can heat it at your place. Quietly. Quietly's the plan, I told her. I drove home slow and steady. At red lights my phone buzzed. 3 messages from Sierra, 2 angry, 1 bargaining. I didn't answer. When I pulled into the driveway, I sat for a minute, checked a list I'd made, and then went inside to do the rest. Monday morning, Sierra blew up my phone at 8. I need my laptop. I'm calling a friend. She'll swing by to get it. Also, I'm hosting book club Friday. It's already planned. I called her. No book club here. Not now. You don't control my social life. I control access to my home, I said. Pick a cafe. I'm coming by at noon. You're not, I said. Send a list. I'll bring the laptop to your mom's tonight after work. You can hand me anything of mine you have. Cards, spare keys, the shop code, and that binder with receipts you took. I didn't take your binder, she said reflexively, then paused. Fine. Whatever. Don't be petty, Evan. Petty is arguing over lettuce, I replied. This is logistics. At 9 the locksmith came. We changed the deadbolts and the keypad. I texted Sierra the procedure for pickups. Text lists. I'll leave items on the porch at a set time. No drop-ins. No scenes. At 11 she tried soft again. I can swing by when you're at lunch and just grab the laptop. No interaction. I'll be quick. No, I texted back. Follow the plan. At noon, Carmen buzzed me. You free for a sec? She asked, voice dry. There's a surprise box of cookies at the front desk. With a note from S that says, sorry for being intense. I support your mission. Let me help coordinate orders. Want me to toss it? Keep the cookies, I said. Toss the note. Copy. She paused. I like this version of boundaries. Me too. At 2, Lucas rolled a cart past my workbench. Man, that was a show yesterday, he murmured. You good? Better than I've been in a while. She came in hot the other day, he said. Felt like she wanted us to clap. Nobody clapped. People usually clap after work, not during, I said. Let's finish these shelves. By 5 I had Sierra's laptop in a backpack, a box of her makeup and hair devices she insists are not devices, and the binder she claimed she didn't take. Right where she put it, in the hall cabinet under important. I added a copy of the new budget and a calm note. Mortgage/utilities joint. Groceries cap. All else separate. 30 days to divide. Pick 3 times you can collect items under supervision. I'll be there. No debates. At her mother's house. The porch light was off though the sun was still out. Sierra opened the door with a set jaw and an audience. Her mother, Gloria, behind her, arms crossed. I like Gloria when she's talking recipes. I don't like her when she's playing referee. I can't believe you did that in front of your family, Sierra began, taking the bag hard enough to thunk it. You started in front of mine, I answered. Gloria lifted a hand. We're not doing sides, she said. Just returning equipment. Right, I said. I set the box down. Here's the plan. Pickups on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday between 5 and 7. I'll be at the house. Text a list first. What if I need something urgently? Sierra asked. Name it. I'll check. If it's urgent, we'll find it. If it's not, it waits. This is punitive, she said. This is clean, I replied. She pulled out my binder. Oh look, the thing I didn't take. She dropped it on a side table. Do you see how petty this is, Mom? He's policing a binder. Gloria looked at me, then at her daughter. If you want to lead a home, you have to respect it, she told Sierra. Sierra's head snapped toward her. You're supposed to be on my side. I'm on the side of not letting little comments turn into campaigns, Gloria said. You've been heavy on campaigns. Sierra stared at her like the furniture had learned to talk. She switched targets. Evan, I'll come by Friday with a few friends to grab art. We'll be fast. No groups, I said. Text me the list. I'll have items ready. Control freak, she muttered. Respect freak, I corrected. See you Tuesday. As I walked to my truck, Sierra called after me. Don't get comfortable, she said. I'm still your wife. You stopped acting like a partner, I said without turning. I adjusted accordingly. The next pickup, Tuesday, she showed with a nicer tone and cupcakes she doesn't eat. She stood on the porch holding a small box like a peace offering. I made these, she said. You bought them, I answered. She smiled anyway. Can we talk inside? It's weird on the porch. We can talk right here. I miss us, she said softly. I miss the way you looked at me when I made something beautiful out of a mess. You miss control, I said. Not us. She bit her lip, eyes glossy in a way she knows turns men into volunteers. Maybe I got carried away. Maybe I liked steering. But why make it ugly? You could come to book club Friday, say hi, show them you're fine with everything. Then we're good. We reset. No club, I reminded her. And there is no we until respect returns as default. This is not a Cold War. This is a boundary. She stared at the doorframe like she could build a case against it. You really think you did this on your own? The truck, the shop, the house. I did it with a crew, with clients, with long days and dirty hands. You were there at the end, greeting the finish line. I attracted abundance, she said. You attracted attention, I answered. Different thing. She took the bag I handed her. You're cruel when you're sober, she said quietly. I'm clear when I'm done, I told her, then nodded toward her car. Thursday, 5 to 7. That night, I slept deeper than I had in months. No soundtrack of sighs. No critique lists taped to the fridge along with the grocery plan I hadn't agreed to. Just silence and the hum of the heater. Wednesday, at the shop, Carmen leaned in my office door. Heads up, she said. Your wife just called to tell me she'll handle our appointment calendar because the boys need a woman to keep them sharp. Do you want me to block her number? Don't block it, I said. Forward me audio. I'll reply once in writing. I sent Sierra a short message. Do not contact my team. All shop matters go through me. Violations in the conversation that day. Any questions, email. She replied, I'm trying to help. You can't make all the shots. Watch me, I texted back. Friday she switched tactics. At 9 in the morning, she rolled up to the shop with a giant poster board, charts, colored markers, stickers. She dressed like the head of a committee nobody elected. Lucas coughed when he saw it. Carmen tilted her head, studied the board as if it had wandered in on its own. I came to show you my plan to improve customer flow, Sierra announced. This is how you scale. I told you, I said, standing by the counter. Don't show up here. She brightened, as if I'd complimented her initiative. I know, but this is different. This is about your future. Our future. No, I said. It's about control. And we're done with that. Evan, don't embarrass me, she hissed. This took me hours. Then you practiced presenting to the wrong room. I answered. Take it to your book club. She glanced at Carmen and Lucas. Witnesses, leverage, her favorite arena. He's in a mood, she told them. He gets like this when he's overwhelmed. He needs my structure. Ma'am, Carmen said, voice dry as chalk. We're good on structure. What we need is to get back to paid work. I opened the door. Sierra, out. She stood there, not moving, testing if I'd bend. I held the door and said nothing. Silence is a kind of wrench. Used right, it turns. She walked out, chin high, color in her face. Outside, she set the poster board against the wall and stared at it like it had betrayed her. Then she turned, voice sweet as syrup. Dinner tonight? Neutral ground. I booked a table. I'm not available, I said. You're avoiding me. I'm respecting me. She got in her car, reversed too fast, and drove off. The poster board stayed propped against the shop like a guest who refused to leave. Lucas walked over, looked at the stickers, and said, she used glitter. Trash it, I told him. He smiled. With pleasure. Her second softening hit Sunday morning. I'd just finished tightening a hinge in the hallway when I heard the gate latch and her knock. Light, careful. I opened the door a crack. She stood there with a tote bag, hair down, no stage makeup, a sweatshirt I'd bought her last fall. She knew what she was doing. Before you shut me out, she said, I want to apologize. For the mom comment. For the shop. For being extra. I looked at her. She looked back, smaller, less polished. She was good at this. I'll give her that. I can learn, she said. I can stop with the commentary. I can let you lead. That's a lot of I cans, I replied. Show me one. I'm here, she said. No entourage. No cousin with worksheets. Just me. What do you want? I asked. Breakfast, she said. With you. We can talk like adults. I stepped back. Kitchen, I said. 15 minutes. She walked in like a cat approaches a new couch. Careful, claiming each cushion. She sat at the island, fingers wrapped around a mug I placed in front of her. She let the steam hit her face like it could baptize her into a different person. I grew up watching my mom try to run rooms she didn't own, she began. She had to fight to get voice. I learned loud. Maybe I kept using loud when I should have used quiet. That's a decent insight, I told her. Now connect it to action. I won't manage your shop, she said. I won't comment on groceries. I won't cancel things with your family. And I'll live within whatever budget you set. Wrong phrasing, I cut in. Live within what you choose to earn. You want a higher number, you find a way to earn it. Her eyes flickered, the real her flashing. I'm not taking a job I hate to fit your spreadsheet. I didn't ask you to hate anything, I answered. I asked you to stop treating my work like it's yours. She looked down, then back up. Can I at least be at home? You can be at your mom's for 30 days, I said. We agreed on that. She exhaled slowly. You really mean it? I do. She nodded, collecting herself. Okay, then can we do it with grace? No gossip, no sides. Just clean. That's all I've been asking for. She reached across the island and placed her hand over mine. You're a good man, Evan. I try to be a clear one, I replied. She squeezed once and let go. I'm going to leave now, she said, standing. Before I say something that ruins this progress. She left without slamming anything. I watched her go, not triumphant, not sad, just settled. 5 minutes later, my phone buzzed. Can you send me $600 for a chair I found for the entry? It's perfect. The link followed. I stared at it. Grace lasted 8 minutes. I said to myself, then typed, no. Buy it with your money if you want. Or wait 30 days. She replied, you're punishing me. I put the phone face down and went outside to sweep the porch. That was the conversation. That was the answer. Midweek, Nate invited me to a neighborhood cookout. Neutral ground, lots of eyes, potential for peace or fireworks. I went because isolation doesn't fix much, boundaries do. Sierra was there. Of course she was. She can smell a crowd. She approached with a plastic plate and a smile so bright it made people squint. Hey, she said, like we just returned from a weekend getaway. Can we chat? We're chatting, I answered. She lowered her voice. We don't have to broadcast our business. Smile and hold my hand. People relax when they see unity. I'm not performing unity. She leaned in like a whisper was intimacy. If the wives here think I'm unstable, it gets messy. Do you understand networks? I'm protecting both of us. I'm not hiding my boundaries to keep your PR clean, I said. A neighbor, Dave, the HOA guy who cares about shrub height like it's federal law, wandered over. How you two doing? He asked, tone loaded with curiosity he thought he disguised. Solid, Sierra answered quickly. Just ironing out schedules. You know how driven men can be. They need a gentle compass. Dave chuckled. My wife says the same. We'd be lost without them. I looked at Dave. We're good, I told him. And for the record, I navigate fine. Sierra's nails dug into her plate. He's just tired, she added to Dave, the way someone explains a toddler. He gets like this when he's not eating right. I turned to her. Don't narrate me in public. She shot back a too sweet smile. I narrate because you won't. Here's my narration, I said, voice level but not quiet. We're taking 30 days apart to reset respect. I'm not available for management tips. Enjoy the night. Dave's eyes did a little ping pong. All right then, he said, retreating. Great to see you both. Sierra's smile thinned. You embarrassed me. You tried to put a leash on me, I said. In front of a man who files complaints about mailbox paint. Pick a different stage next time. She swallowed, then started a new angle. I was talking to Hannah about that couple's hike next month. We should still go. People look up to us. It's good optics. I'm not attending anything labeled couples, I told her. Don't RSVP for me. You're being rigid again. I'm being precise. She stared for a beat. Fine, she said. Have it your way. It is my way, I replied. At my house. With my time. She walked off, found 3 women near the potato salad, and formed a circle. 2 minutes later, the whole circle glanced over at me at once. Sierra's talent has always been choreography. I finished my burger, told Nate thanks, and left without an exit speech. The point had been made. People can think whatever they want. They don't fill my calendar or my gas tank. Thursday, Sierra texted a long paragraph about how separation was ruining her productivity. I can't think at my mom's, she wrote. She's critique times 10. I need quiet. You can rent a quiet, I replied. Short term. Your call. I don't have your money. You have your skills, I said. Monetize them. She called. You want me to start from scratch? While you sit in the house, I turned into a home. That house was a home before you knew its address, I answered. It's still a home when you're not in it. She went silent, then tried a last door. If I move back in now and we just set rules, it's easier. I'll be softer. You can move back when we're done dividing, I said. If it makes sense. Right now it doesn't. You're throwing me away. I'm refusing to carry you. She hung up. Saturday, she arrived during her window with 2 friends in tow. I stepped onto the porch and blocked the door without raising my voice. No groups, I reminded her. Text me names ahead if you need help lifting. Otherwise, it's just you and me. Don't be dramatic, she said. They'll grab the large mirror. I don't want you to break it. I won't, I replied. We're not moving the large mirror. That was my purchase before you. It stays. Choose other items. Her friends shifted, uncomfortable. One of them offered a small wave and retreated to the car. The other stayed, eyes on Sierra, waiting for a cue. Fine, Sierra said, gesturing. Lamp, side table, art books. I brought each item out, put them on the porch, and had her sign a short list I'd prepared. Logistics, not emotions. When she reached for the pen, she paused. You wrote, living room chair, denied, she said, reading. You're writing denied like I'm applying for a loan. You're applying for items, I said. Some are mine. You're not generous. I'm exact, I replied. She put the pen down with a click. Okay, since you love paperwork, here's one. She pulled a sheet from her tote bag. I need $2, $500 to cover my living expenses this month. It's fair. What's fair? I said. Is you covering your living expenses like I cover mine. I'll maintain the house and the basics we agreed to. Your lifestyle costs are your job. Her teeth set. You'll regret this when I'm gone and your rooms feel empty. My rooms feel quiet, I said. That's a luxury. She stared at me long enough to make it a contest. I didn't blink. She signed. She left. The porch looked the way I like rooms to look, with just the essentials and no speeches attached. The last week of the month, she sprang her final tactic. On Thursday, I got a group text from friends. Pumped for Sierra's relaunch party Saturday at your place. I called her. No party, I began. Don't be a buzzkill, she replied. Too bright. I scheduled a small get-together to show the world we're fine. You'll be there. You can thank me. It fixes the narrative. You schedule events in your house, I told her. This one isn't yours. It's already happening, she said. People are coming. I sent a single follow-up to the group. Event is canceled. Please respect that. We'll see you another time. Then I texted Sierra privately. Do not schedule events at my address. If people show up, I'll ask them to leave at the door. Don't make it awkward. She called, voice sharp. You love making me small. You do a thorough job yourself, I answered. Stop inviting yourself back into rooms you keep setting on fire. Saturday, 2 cars pulled in anyway. I stepped outside, thanked my friends for coming, told them it wasn't a good time, and closed the door gently. Sierra watched from the curb in her car, stunned I'd actually done it. She peeled off. That night, she sent a final long paragraph. I wanted to lead us somewhere better. You took it as attack. You keep talking about respect like it's a math problem. It's not. It's feeling, and without me, you're boring. I read it, then typed back 3 sentences. Respect is the rent due for a place in my life. You fell behind. The lease is terminated. I put the phone down. Then I picked it back up and added, when you come Monday for the last pickup, bring my spare keys. And that binder, again. She didn't reply. Monday came. She returned the keys, finally. We finished the list. No hugs, no nostalgia speech. She lingered at the threshold, one last attempt. You really think you did this all without me? She said, soft again. This success, this house, this life? I did it with people who respect me, I answered. That's the whole. She opened her mouth, closed it, and walked to her car. I watched her go. I locked the door. I made coffee. I stood in the entry that according to her needed a statement piece and listened to the quiet make its own. On Wednesday, I changed my schedule, rolled back a recurring couples dinner I'd been attending by obligation, moved my Friday training to mornings, added a standing dinner with my sister and nephew every other week. I told my mom I'd be by on Sundays without needing to ask permission. Pattern reset. Minimal announcements. Actions only. The first Saturday in the new normal, I went to the hardware store, grabbed lumber, tightened a few door latches at Lauren's, and grilled at Nate's. We laughed about nothing important. Nobody narrated me. Nobody corrected plates. When I picked up my nephew from practice, he asked why Sierra wasn't around. I told him, because grown-ups need respect like engines need oil. He nodded like that was the most obvious thing in the world. 2 months later, the house looked a little different and a lot calmer. I put a simple bench by the entry, no drama, just somewhere to sit and tie your shoes. The fridge had no lists taped to it, only a magnet with my nephew's drawing of a rocket that looked like a lopsided pencil. The shop ran smoother than ever. Carmen smiled more. Lucas stopped whispering when he had ideas. We built a conference table for a startup downtown and a set of shelves for a teacher who'd saved for 2 years to afford them. Real people, real rooms, no curating. I met someone who doesn't need to choreograph a crowd to feel tall. Her name is Mara. She asks what she can bring, not what she can run. She laughs at my dry jokes and likes quiet. On our third date, she looked around my place and said, "You've got good bones in here." I replied, "And good rules." She nodded. Those are better than good bones. As for Sierra, word travels in neighborhoods even when you don't ask for it. I heard she rented a small place near a studio and spends most afternoons crafting plans for other people's houses. Some buy them, most don't. Her circles still meet. There's always a circle somewhere. Sometimes people tell me she says I'll come around when I remember who elevated me. Sometimes they tell me she misses the silence, which she now calls clarity. People rename things when they lose them. I don't correct anyone. I don't gloat. I get up early, drink coffee that doesn't need approval, and go make things that hold weight. When I come home, the bench by the door is waiting. It doesn't try to be a throne. It holds you up. That's its whole job. A month after we closed out the last pickup, Sierra texted one final time. "You really ended us over a line at dinner." I replied, "No, I ended it because respect left. The line just helped me count." She wrote, "You'll miss me." I stared at that for a second, then let my thumbs move. Respect is the rent. When you stop paying, you move out. Then I put the phone down and went out to the garage. There was a stack of maple boards and a quiet room. I turned on the light, measured twice, and cut once.